No, but nothing you say is really shocking. White people don't respect black people because they don't like black people. There's no incentive for them to respect us and whatnot. So it's nothing that we can do. There's
Yes,
no
it
feeding
is.
into respectability politics that's gonna
Do
make
you
them respect
care?
us. It
Yes,
just
yes,
won't
it
happen.
is. What we can do is
So
You
we can
stop
care about
blaming
white
them.
people.
build our
You
own
care about them
community, brother.
You
respecting
care
each
about
other.
white people.
No, you do. You
You
do.
just said, didn't you just
No,
say if we
you
they
just
don't
said.
respect us because we
You
act a
just
certain way?
said.
Did you
No,
Bubba,
not just
no.
say that?
Bubba, it's up to us to fix
You
our community. They're
exactly.
always
I
going to
don't want
be
to
the
hear that. I'm
ones.
talking American right now. Didn't
Oh,
he
okay,
just
go ahead.
say that the reason they don't respect us is because what we do to ourselves, which is idiotic?
Yeah, because they do shit to
No,
themselves. I mean, they do stuff to
no.
themselves.
It's not idiotic. And
Yes, it is.
what you said
Look,
is idiotic, honestly. To
what
be
I said actually made sense.
no, it didn't. You're just saying a bunch of victim bullshit. That's what
You
No,
don't
it's
even
not a
have to
bunch
be
of victim
responsible
Hey,
for
didn't I
nonsense,
saying,
just say
saying
that?
what white people say.
you're a victim.
Can
America.
you?
It's not a bunch of victim nonsense. What you're going on with is a white T supremacist is a white T
Here you
supremacist
go. Here
rhetoric,
you go.
and you
You're a
caping for
victim.
white T people.
You're a
You sitting
victim.
here telling us saying that if all this will go away, it's no different than the goofy
No, I
white T
never said
people that
that.
say we stop talking about racism
It's
or
going to go
black
away.
on black crime,
I
right? Because
never
that's
said
Yeah.
that.
exactly what you're bringing up when you're talking about us not needing to use the N word. I proudly say
When you get done
it out
crying,
loud in these raps because I'm trying to paint a picture of what's going on in today's society, how we get treated and how we get talked about. And just like Bubba said, this word has always been used to demean us. And if they
Clock
Always.
invented
it.
that word, then whose
Always.
responsibility is to get
Thank
rid of that
you.
word? Because we
Thank
sure didn't
you.
invent the word. I'll tell you that now.
and you use it.
Fool, I use it in my raps. What do you
Okay,
think?
okay. So it
No,
was
I'm
used
not
to
mad.
hurt
I'm just
us.
excited because it's
Listen
like,
to what you
dog,
said
are
though.
you
It was
slow or
used to
what,
hurt
bro?
us.
Like, look, I got rapper in my name.
Okay.
Okay, guys, can we agree on one thing, right? We
That
already
nobody
know,
should be
right?
saying it.
Like,
Yes.
can we
Yes, I
agree on
agree.
one
I
thing?
agree.
Black
It's
people can
never,
Put
say it.
it's
sound effects
I
to
never.
don't
that.
see what's the
Clap it
problem with
up.
black people
No,
saying
it's
it. I
never
hear you black people
like
say that.
we should agree on one thing that people should not be saying things they are not supposed to be saying.
Facts.
You know,
If
and
black
the
people stop
fact,
using the N word tomorrow, what would that change?
no, I'm coming to something, right?
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
not
Bro,
exactly.
it's
It won't
okay
No,
to
change
let's
anything.
change,
but
but
none of
you
y'all
It's
gotta
let
not a
me
be
problem for us
clear
hear
what
changing
Prince
it.
is
how we
saying.
stopped and
can
what
we
it was
just
saying.
agree not to use it? Let's say if we can be like an
Like,
educative
what if all of
panel
us
to
in this
the
panel came
public
together
and be like, hey,
as one
I'm
group
not
and
comfortable
said, let's
with this,
all stop
stop
using the
using
word?
it.
You don't know how we could impact people on the outside by just
It's
choosing to
not
come
going to
together and
impact
say
No, because
that.
we're
anything
still
because
going
the
to get called
system
the
of
N word. It doesn't
racism and
matter.
white
It doesn't matter.
supremacy will still
White
exist.
people,
So
There
but
what
you
does
what did
that
he
go.
just,
change or
who just
impact?
said
There
that?
you go.
Who
I'm
just
not
said
gonna
that?
lie, I'm not
Well, you're
stopping
not a
using that word,
victim. You're
bro.
not a
Isaac,
victim though.
nobody's talking to you. You're not a part of this conversation. Who just
You
said
said
I
that?
everyone
am.
in this panel, woman. Calm down,
Isaac, you're
Sharkeisha.
not a part of this conversation.
You said
Who just
everyone in
said
this
that?
panel,
You just
Sharkeisha. Calm
bought
And
a
I
down.
gun
just
with
said
this,
I'm not
call her
talking to you. Keep
Sharkeisha.
responding to
This
me.
is why.
Who
Oh my
just
God.
said that? I'm trying
Right,
to ask who said
Sharkeisha?
that.
Isaac,
Hey,
Yes, I will
wetback, can you
Isaac,
Sharkeisha
stop
you. Is that
listen.
what
disrespecting
you
her, bro?
want? Like, what are we talking about? Who just said that?
Isaac, listen. I don't know why you try to like instigate some stuff.
Like, this is
Or
these are Isaac is the type of people we be talking about. Your
you
people are the
just doing
problem.
All I
something.
said
I
is I'm
feel
not
like
gonna
you're
stop
just
using it.
purposely doing
If
it
you're
at
gonna
this
keep
Okay,
point.
things
you already
soft,
told
that's
us
on
that
you,
though.
bro.
We all heard you say that the
You
first
say
time. You don't have
what?
to keep telling us that you're gonna stop using it. We heard you say you're not gonna stop using
Dude,
it
you
the first
said
time
if
you said
everyone
it.
in
What are
the
you talking
you're
about?
obviously already mad
Okay,
about it,
besides
bro.
Isaac, you want to be included so bad. Besides Isaac, everybody else in this panel
Yeah,
has an
cool.
agreement that nobody should be using this word at
Dude,
all.
you're
Well,
still a
maybe
nigger,
not
bro.
American
Shut up.
either,
You're still a
but
nigga, bro. You're
Isaac,
still a nigga. Shut
Isaac,
up.
Isaac,
Oh,
can I
Isaac, you
tell
out
you
of
something?
control.
Okay,
no, you
maybe
see
you
how he
might believe.
left?
Yeah,
See
You
what
see
I'm
yeah,
how he
yeah.
saying?
left?
But that's what
You're not trying to get that
people like
shit.
American,
That's
that's
all
the
he
stuff
wanted
that
to
they
do.
tolerate. We got
But
conquered black
listen, y'all.
men.
But
Yeah.
listen,
Tolerate.
You
didn't y'all
see,
just say
you
earlier
see,
that the
that's the
whole
thing
the
I
whole
was
point of this
that
is
that's
that
the thing I was talking about because
Gary, was it you that said it earlier, bro? When you said we are the ones that have to change within our, we have to be the change within our community, something like that.
Exactly. We have to build community again and establish
Facts. So fuck what
credibility.
they doing. Obviously, they're gonna keep doing what they want to do because they're
They're gonna
entitled.
do.
Hey,
So they're
They're
gonna
gonna
do
do
I
what
whatever they
agree
they
with
want to do.
that.
listen.
But us
I
as a
agree with that.
people,
you
so
see,
check it.
we
that's
can
the
make
thing.
that
That's the
change. Is
thing
what I'm
I
saying.
was
Anytime
saying.
you've had
See, CeeLo, I
incidences
agree
that
with
have
that. I
been
agree with
going
that
on
wholeheartedly.
for hundreds and
Agree
thousands
with
of
wait,
years,
y'all.
a leopard won't change
What are
his
we agreeing
spots.
with?
What do you
I
Like
agree
So
with
that,
what
we
you.
agree. Like
Hold on, hold
nobody
on,
should
hold
be
on. Let me
using
address
the
her, please,
word.
please, please. I agree with what you literally just said, CeeLo. I agreed when you said that we have to be the ones that get our communities together.
Right. They're gonna do. Of course, they're gonna do what they want to do.
They got rid of the
These type of
FAG.
conversations are pulling us apart, which is what they like.
Hey,
They like the fact that these conversations pull us away from each other instead of bringing us closer
hey,
to say,
family,
let's make that change and make them
Right.
not
make you guys
stop
That's
saying that
right.
word.
something, right?
Actually, CeeLo, if it wasn't for this conversation, I wouldn't have gotten to hear your narrative, and I appreciate it. So,
Which is,
I don't think
I'm
it's-
happy she said something
you know,
too.
and I don't think it's
Y'all,
pulling us
I'm
apart.
I'm a YN. You feel me? I am very young, but I'm very
here's
like
what
you know,
I'm saying.
like
I have respect.
I just got mad at some of the things that were being said on here.
I understand you're emotional. Everybody gets emotional.
Y'all not
But
standing
what
on
I'm
that.
saying is, I respect very much what you're saying.
Bubba, what are you
and your
saying,
opinion.
bro?
You just said we
Because you
should
be
use the
going
word
back
and
on
then
mute
call
mad
yourself
quick.
a YN. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Doesn't make any
that
sense.
was a little weird.
Right, but I didn't say
That's
the word
all
though.
I'm
I said
saying.
YN. Anyway.
I mean,
I said
unless
YN.
YN means something
Wordplay.
else. I
Anyways,
couldn't
like
know.
I was saying though. Like
Bro,
I was saying though.
how you want us to change something, but you had
Y'all, it's a joke. Do y'all laugh? Y'all can't laugh, bro. Calm down. Y'all calm down. Y'all are the ones that be getting emotional about
I thought it
things.
was
For
funny.
real.
It's funny.
Right, I'm glad you laughed, Prince. Thank you for your humor. Like, what the fuck?
No, but like we have community and we have built our communities up. But guess what happened? They were burned
Right.
down, right? And also, even when we try to build our communities up now, there's stuff like redlining.
Y'all watched that plantation that breakdown the other day?
Okay,
That's not. Oh my gosh, I'm finishing.
I'm sorry, I was just asking if y'all
Bubba,
seen
I
it.
understand.
Yeah,
Yo,
we
Bubba,
always
you're
do.
gonna
That's
say
all.
fair wins.
Let's stay on topic,
Thank you for
please.
saying yes, you saw it. Bubba is too up in his panties. I was on your side, Bubba, too.
I did see it.
Ma'am, I just said I saw it. Like, stop with the BS.
You
I
said
don't
I
know.
saw it. Oh my gosh, damn.
Because I was talking. That's why I was saying that.
Okay, anyways.
But yeah,
They
that's
got
like,
rid of the
there's-
FAG word. You can't be in public and say FAG anymore.
Yeah, but
What?
they're like
Oh.
our communities have been burned down, and we still have things like redlining and other systemic barriers that hinder us from building community. I know black people like to say we need to do this, and we didn't do that, but y'all don't know what's stopping us or what's hindering us from doing so.
Bubba, can I ask you a question? Hold on. Do you think racism is the main factor as to why we can't build, or is it us?
It is racism.
I feel
Is
like
that a
it's
rhetorical
both.
question?
No, I like.
I feel like it's both. I feel like
I'm-
it's racism and it's us.
So black people are being
I'm not
racist to
saying that
themselves.
racism
They're
don't
denying
exist,
themselves.
but I'm saying which is
They're
the
burning-
bigger issue? Is it racism or is it us? The
It's
biggest-
He never
racism.
said we were the ones
obviously.
being racist.
What are we
He
talking
just
about?
said it's
That should be a
us.
rhetorical question.
Okay,
No, it's not. It shouldn't be
rhetorical.
because
All y'all speaking on me in the comments can really leave
Because
me alone.
you're
Because when I want to be
giving-
serious, I can. Now leave me
I didn't
alone.
speak on you.
Go
you're
back to what
giving
y'all
them
was
too
saying.
much power. You're giving them too much power. I think if
Y'all, I do this on a.
I
Okay,
think if
I'll stop reading the
we,
comments.
I think if we really wanted to, if we really wanted to get our stuff together, we could. But what we like to
We
do
really
is say, but like we would like to do is say, is that it's because of them why we can't get our shit together, and that's the problem. See, I'm the coon, right? But I believe that we can do whatever we want and that we could conquer. But we too busy saying that other people control our fate. But somehow I'm the coon for saying that. That's
I'm gonna say
that's-
something after you.
Not only are you
brother.
that, but you are highly miseducated, and it's sad because you.
How?
American,
Gen X.
no,
You don't know
Bubba,
nothing.
Bubba,
That is
Bubba,
crazy,
Bubba,
brother. Y'all
listen,
put-
bro.
How?
American
Because
is
I'm not
kind of right.
accepting
Let me
your
tell you guys
crybaby.
something.
Let him answer the question.
No, American is kind of right because let me tell you guys something, right? Which is very, very, very crucial to the nature of this country. Sometimes you guys really need to take a step back and look at the way as an African, we come to this country and within a year or two, we're buying houses, buying cars. Because we do not pay attention to all these people.
Why did you have to leave Africa? Why couldn't you do that in
Okay,
Africa?
bro, we can let me no.
Because the
let me-
framework in America was already established.
let me answer that
Why
question.
couldn't you
Framework
do
for
that in
liberation
Africa?
was
Let
already
me
established by Black
answer that
Americans.
question. I
We
ain't scared of
established the
answering any
framework
type
and we
of
allowed
question.
people to come into the country. But
Prince
I'll
told the truth and y'all don't like it.
No, listen, let me answer that question.
It
Because
doesn't
I ain't
make
scared
sense,
of no
that's why.
question, okay? So the reason why most of us leave Africa to come here or
Too
to
hot.
go to any other country is not because we don't have what it takes. It's just because our government is not doing what it's supposed to do. They're messing us up, okay? But we go to other
American
countries.
government has systemically oppressed Black Americans for generations. Our roots are in slavery. and we were
identity.
robbed, not everybody, but we were robbed of common skills. And every time we fight to lift ourselves up, we're knocked back down because we support this country. But I'll digress.
The same way, let me say something. The same way some other people come here from other countries, despite the fact that, like I said, I don't know if my ancestor was here. I don't know if he's here good enough. I'll take it. Okay. But we still come here at the same time. I was also
We have the
oppressed.
paperwork to prove our ancestors were here. In a way, we're true Americans along with the Native Americans because we weren't immigrated and we fought for freedom and progression and progressed the whole world, bringing America up to speed with equal rights.
Everybody else gets to come and have their identity, though. If you go, there's a Chinatown in every, state. They get to come in and have that community. You got the Chinatown. You got India has a part that they'll have a town. So
Little Italy.
Yeah, honestly, because I got ticked off when you're saying we, the people, blacks are
You get the county jail. That's
that
what
kind
you
of built this country too. Don't forget that.
The prison system, the prison pipeline, which is from school to prison. That's what we got right now.
Well, see, it boils down to fragmentation. What you said, is it Quentin?
Quinlan.
Hello, sir. How you doing? Good to hear from you. Okay, and I said this earlier, is that it's up to us to start building community and giving each other the credibility to start acting in commerce. Everything you see around America is designed to take money from you. Okay, we're talking about Target, we're talking about your state systems, we're talking about everything. So not understanding how commerce works affects us tremendously. Okay, and that's some of the things that I've been trying to educate the people around me about is how we get together and form credibility. Because if you remember back in the days when they brought in the churches and they were overseers of our churches looking at the curriculum, all that was by design. Okay, what we have to do is, and we're great innovators, we have to learn how to innovate collectivity and actually get on one accord. Because if we address, one situation at a time and stop being fragmented in our pursuits, then we can start to create.
Yeah,
that's all it is that I'm saying.
Because
look,
I see.
If we want, I see it in my children. I see it the way that they're going to change the laws because there's always going to be a changing of the guard. But what these other people are teaching their kids is they're teaching them how to remain in control. The banking system is the primary leverage of control in this universe, in America. I'm going to say in America. Backed by that is they have a strong military presence. Back to this gentleman that was talking about being from Africa. So without consequences, the behavior is going to continue. Okay? When one of our children are unalive, we all as parents say, hey, that could never happen to me. If somebody did that to my kids, I'd do such and such and such. But what you don't have is you don't have a strong community support. You're on your own.
Gary, let me ask you something real quick.
You see it all over the United States. There's a couple in Colorado that bought a ranch and they were poisoning their livestock.
Can I ask you a quick question though, right quick?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Who is your state representative?
My state representative right now, we just had a change of the guard. And excuse me, I don't have that information directly in my head right now.
So you don't know your elected
livestock?
No. I didn't say I didn't know who all my elected officials are.
But you can't tell me who they are.
Who my state representative is at the current time.
Okay, so who's the senator?
I don't know. I can Google it for you.
But you see why this stuff is just it's nonsense, because if you don't know who your elected officials are,
no.
And you want to have
what I'm trying to say to
conversations about what should black people be doing.
So here's what I do know when it comes to politics. Okay, when it comes to politics and the things that are happening in my state, okay, I don't necessarily have to be directly involved with the politics, so I understand the laws and the governing things that are surrounding it. Okay.
Yes, you do. How are you going to get things done?
Because you
don't know who's who. And don't you have to go through those same people?
No.
No,
Yes, you
Gary
do.
got his own political.
No, no,
And
no,
also,
no. I
if you
didn't
care
say
about the
that. No, I
community,
didn't
you
say
need to
that.
know who's running your community, right?
No, 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 no.
So how do you care
Okay.
about your own community if you don't know who's running your community? I know
You got
my
you.
state
Okay.
representative and my governor.
Okay, but
But
are you connected with them? Do you
yes,
talk to them on a regular basis?
yes, I live
Okay,
right down the
so
road from Ronnie
when
Sapp.
it comes to
I know that's my
bills,
senator.
okay, well, understand this. This is why I'm asking you then. So see, now we're getting off course. If you want me to defend myself and my narrative and what it is that I'm trying to say,
You're
when
making
it comes
sense.
to politics, okay, that directly affect me, okay, I do not have control of that at this particular time because you're talking about the collective government system, in a whole. Does that make sense?
No,
I
I
don't have.
think Gary
if
wants
you
somebody to get
care
him out of
about,
jail.
yeah, if you
Gary, are
care,
you sitting in a cell somewhere, bro?
wow.
Actually,
that is crazy. Like, what is this?
actually,
He's
yeah,
not adding that to the
Y'all doing that
I
conversation.
thing.
snuck a phone in the cell.
To
See,
know
this is
who your
why
elected
white people
official is to
wash
No,
their
serve
no.
your
mouth.
See, no,
Y'all
no. What
community.
he's
don't know how
trying to
to
do
do
is
that.
he's
All
trying
right, y'all. It's
to.
That
somebody
is
in the panel
crazy
that just
to
That
got
ask
up
a
here.
white
Let her
mentality
talk. Let
person.
her
is
I'm
talk.
ridiculous.
joking.
No, all he's
I'm
trying
Y'all
to
let her
do
talk.
is
We
get
don't
him
joke like that, white
Hold on,
boy.
guys. One
by
second.
throwing
I'm
in another
sorry.
Hold on
narrative
one
that's
second,
not.
The
guys.
host
Black
is
man.
Hold on.
talking.
Everybody, hold on one second. I know I've been away from the phone for a little bit. Sorry about that. Conversation was going well. How's everybody doing? Let's try to calm it down for a second. I don't know if Period and Quinlan have gone yet. Have they
And
spoken
sister.
so far?
A little bit, but we can hear from him. And
Period did
just
speak a
for
little bit.
Okay, all right. So then if that's the case, then let me get sister in here and then we can go right back into the open panel, okay?
Little Richard is the king of rock and roll, not Elvis. Okay, I'm done.
All right, go ahead, sister.
I don't like how we judge one another and put each other down for some of the things that we don't know or what we do know. You don't have to know certain things in order to serve your community. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, in order to know what's
Yep.
important for the community, in order to serve, in order to do for other people in your community, oftentimes people want to count Black people out. But I'm sorry, from where I live and from where I stand, we still doing an underground railroad community system here. It's a lot of Black people that serve in their community. They don't need a hand clap. They don't need people seeing them doing what they're doing, giving their last dollars. They don't need that. But you all want to sit here and talk politics and don't even know what you're talking about.
Uh-oh.
That's what's crazy. And we supposed to be for one another.
I didn't try to degrade him or any way. I asked him
Yes,
who
you
the state
did.
rep and senator is. That's all I did. And if
You
you're going to
only
talk
asked
about
him
what,
because somebody
How
in the
is that
comments told you
relevant?
to, not because you actually wanted to ask him
that
that.
looks just like
because it was relevant. It was a good question. He's not
How
an
is
official.
it
I can
relevant?
ask a question on
How is it
something.
relevant?
How is it degrading asking someone who is their elected official?
because you tried to
That
tell him
That
he's
shouldn't
not
have.
educated enough.
That shouldn't
I
have cut
didn't
down
even bring it up.
Community.
That shouldn't have
But
cut down
ma'am,
everything. All
if
the
you're
good
going to
points
talk
you
about
had.
community, shouldn't you know who's running your community? I mean, let's be realistic.
Booba, I don't have to
But that's what
know.
she's saying is you don't need to know who's running your
You don't
community
need
to
to
be a
know.
change.
And did I
Booba,
shame him for
Booba,
not
Booba,
knowing?
nobody
To
Or
be
did
a
I
has.
just
change in
ask?
your community, you don't have to know
Yes, you
who's
do.
elected.
They are the ones running your
Some of these
community.
elected officials are
Right.
corrupted.
Booba,
Come on, let's
Gross.
get
well,
Gross.
And you
real.
can vote them. You can get them out
Let's
of there.
get
But if you don't know
real.
who they
Booba,
are, how are you going to
Booba,
do
And
anything?
now you're assuming
Booba. Can
that
I
he
tell you
doesn't
something
vote.
about
He just
politics?
said he
Don't
don't
assume that he
know.
doesn't
Booba,
vote
can I
because
tell
he
you
I
doesn't
something
didn't
about
even
vote.
say that.
politics? Can I tell
What are
you
you
something
talking about,
about
man?
politics? This is 2025, okay? And we keep
Obviously.
going. So one thing you should understand about politics is even before the election, they already know what they want to do. Take it or leave it.
a 50-year plan.
Okay? They already know who the money is going to,
I
who
don't
the
think.
money is going to come from. They already know what they want to do.
I don't think Trump
I agree with you.
Every other thing they are
survived that bullet.
saying is just let's follow the due process.
Maceo, stop it.
Okay?
That's
So
exactly what she's talking about.
at the end
Why
of the
don't you just
day,
teach her instead of trying to come for her?
at the end of the day,
Coming for her, though.
politics
I
is a
actually,
dirty game.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to somebody in the comment section.
I
Don't
get
pay
that, but I'm
attention
saying, like
to
she
him.
was
Don't
saying, I
pay
was coming for the
attention
guy,
to
and I
him.
wasn't.
Don't pay
That's all.
Hey,
attention.
I'll drop if he wants to come
Okay?
up. I'll drop.
So politics has always been a dirty game right from the time of Jesus.
Y'all can't think 5 minutes is good.
So if everybody is gonna focus on who's leading the state, what about who's leading the country? Where is he now? in Dubai.
Right.
Get in the plane and
All right.
and you
All right,
taking buses
Macia.
and driving, paying cars. Come on, let's chill out.
But dude, the conversation was about black community. If you
I
don't know
know,
who's
but at
running
the
your
same
community,
time, it's
how
still
are
a
you going
white
to
man
have a
leading the
serious
black
conversation?
community in the whole country.
Gosh.
You had to leave. Never mind. I'm not even gonna say it. But
No,
yeah,
let's
Do we
no,
need elected officials?
no
Hold on, I got a
reality
question. I got a
check.
question.
Reality check.
Do we need
Regardless.
elected officials to do back to school,
Say it, Bubba.
fundraisers? Do we need elected officials to give back to kids that don't have anything? Do we need
Well,
elected
hang on,
officials
Bubba.
for
Watch
that?
your lead.
That's
back to
giving back to
school.
your community.
That's just once a year.
But
They
we're
only
talking
go
about a
back-
community
that's
as a
not doing
whole.
anything.
But you see black
How is
people
that not
do
doing
that.
Bubba,
Okay.
Bubba, regardless
All right,
of
Bubba.
what you think, in Texas,
Making
our
any, like,
senator here is
impactful
Ted
change.
Cruz, right?
It is though.
So what is he
It
doing?
is because we're
Giving
known for not
kids
helping each
paper
other.
and
So us
pencil
coming together
once
and
a
helping
year.
each other is us helping the community. What are you talking
Right,
about?
Community
It's making a
thing.
change in the
These
community.
guys
What are you
don't come out.
talking
They
about?
only go to where favor them. Okay? If you're not a stakeholder, if you're
Everybody
not
got a
donating
different
millions to
mindset
their
when it comes to
campaign,
helping the
they
community.
do
If you
not
feel like you're
care.
higher than somebody that does back to school bashes, then go to the elected official and do what needs to be done at that level.
Let me remind
But
you that.
everybody not educated at that level, and that's okay.
Yeah, and also
That is
You shouldn't have
okay.
conversations about the community if you don't know who's running the
no,
community.
Why?
no,
Why
it's
not
still
though?
it's
It's
still
not serious.
Bubba, it's
It's
still
not-
okay.
Bless y'all
It's still
soul.
okay.
That's
Lord, bless
okay.
y'all soul.
No.
That's
Okay.
okay. That's fine.
Let
He
me
can
let me
believe what
address
he
let
wants
me
to
address
believe.
Bubba
That's fine.
since he was the one that was trying to throw me under the bus.
No,
But
I
I
was
do know
not.
my
It's
elected
just a
official.
simple question. That's
Okay,
all I
Maceo,
did.
no,
since you
you
kept asking.
no. You were throwing me under the bus because
I-
you're
okay.
asserting that I'm going to be ineffective in my knowledge of any type of social things that are going on because I'm not tuned into what's going on with the current politics. It doesn't matter to me who my current representative is because
Missy,
they're
are
not
you
putting
slow,
in
bro?
the work. I'm sorry,
I'm
what'd you
sorry.
say?
I don't know about y'all, but I got so stressed out about what's going on in the political world that I've literally taken a break. I don't know about what y'all
This is a
doing.
political
But
conversation right now.
This is just
Well,
Then
it's
that's what
so
you need to
much.
do.
It's a different. Okay, I don't know how Bubba is thinking about this, but here's the way I think about it. Just like I've said all through this live, to me, community starts with the individuals who you're directly around, who you're
Thank you. Who
directly
live in
in
that fucking
contact
community?
with. You know,
Yes.
that is community
The
to
fuck? You
me
talking about people
because
that don't give a
those
fuck
are the
about us right now,
people.
bro?
Those are the people who are important. The people who aren't necessarily involved in the everyday decision making on Capitol Hill, because none of us have direct control over what that is. You're talking about voting people out. That takes a collective. That doesn't take an individual. So by you sitting up here telling me about my representatives and whoever else, that's a non-factor to me. It's a non-starter. It's not that important.
I have a question for
Because it
Prince
doesn't
Oki
make
at the
any
bottom.
sense, sir. I asked you
Yes,
that
sir.
to get where your
Anytime,
head is
any
at.
day,
Prince.
I can see how I can help.
So,
Dude, I didn't
Prince,
interrupt
how
you, and you
do
didn't interrupt the other guy. But I'm saying this: you can't have a serious conversation about community if you don't know who's running the community.
Okay,
You got
let's
you got
forget who's
people,
running the community. He
state
doesn't
rep,
know. That's fine.
I'm having a
state
great
so
representatives,
Prince, I have
Let
a
him
question
believe
for
what he
you.
wants to believe.
and
It's okay.
you don't know who they are, and they're making decisions for your community. But
Don't
you want to
worry,
have
he's gonna
conversations
find
about
out,
their
All right, we
community,
get
Yeah,
it.
Bubba.
he
and you
has
don't
to
know who they
grow.
are.
We get it.
Grow
Google it.
into
Having
who
This is
Bubba,
he
it's
just
back to
okay.
is.
just
He's
school
Google.
gonna
drives
But
find
not
that's
out.
making.
like,
That's
bro,
fine.
that's like,
Oh my
why
god!
it can't be different
So
for
Why are
us
y'all so
though? Why does
triggered?
everybody have to know politics to want to have a change in the community?
I
Like,
mean,
nobody
I
still
don't
answer that
Because
sugarcoat that
it
question.
is
either.
political. What we're
They ain't
It's
talking
like
feeding
about
running
is
a
me.
political.
business. Everybody
Racism
knows
is
their
political.
lane. Everybody
But they're
can't do
not feeding
everything. If
him.
you
They are not feeding him right
I can't talk
now.
to no elected official because they might say something crazy to me, and then here I go cursing them out. You feel me? Like everybody can't do
No,
everything.
That
that's
If
was
you
your
feel
election
like
See,
you're the
that's
mindset.
the
type of
years.
thing
person that
about the
can sit
United
with
States.
elected
That's
officials,
why they
When I
don't talk
when
to
I
you.
was back in
right? I
Ukraine
don't want
and
to talk to
Russia, they
them.
be throwing
Facts.
their
I don't care.
senators inside the trash. I don't know
We
what you're
should.
doing over here.
All right,
And
native.
I
So
don't
you go talk to
understand
them.
why
But like I said,
Prince.
everybody
I
knows
don't
their
need
lane, and
to.
if I'm somebody
I
that I
don't need to.
know I
Native,
can't
you
get into
wanted
the
to ask
politics
me a
because of how I
question?
may act, then I'm
Yes,
gonna
I
do
did.
something on
My
the lower
question
level,
for
which
you
means I
is
might do back to school
Hello,
bashes. I might do things in the community, like Gary said, do
sister,
stuff in our
sister,
neighborhood.
so
sister. Yes,
Prince.
sir.
My question is, how do the people in your land view the American government? Do they view it as just or as a bunch of gangsters?
Oh shit.
Is it in the political aspect?
Yes, sir. From the presidency down.
Honestly, like I said, right from day one, even
I already
since I
know.
was born, everywhere in the whole world, we practice democracy in Nigeria because I'm from Nigeria, okay? Now you know I'm from
Mm-hmm.
the big ass that side. Over here is still democracy, but politics is a sham. Like it's a dirty
But
game.
exactly. So why can't Americans figure it out and play? But they play the game.
Actually, put it this way: Americans play better than Nigerians because Nigerians still show you that corruption like they don't give a f. Like you will actually know.
No, I'm talking about the American people, not the people in charge. Why don't they play the game? Why do they always have to think that they're going to be able to call people out and it's going to somehow change? It doesn't work that way. You either evolve or you dissolve.
Okay, can I tell you something? I think you guys have it good, better than Africa.
Exactly.
So you better. You know what? I wish I can switch the politics over here to that side and give you guys that one. Then maybe everybody will stop complaining.
I'm good. I know I'm blessed, sir.
Native, I think Bubba may be able to appreciate this statement, but I'm not really sure. But here's the thing: when I was talking about commerce and the way America actually operates, everything is running because the strength of the American dollar, and things are about to change dramatically. Okay, so the dollar has been losing for a long time, and I don't know how much you guys are aware of cryptocurrency and what's happening with the digital banking system and the way things are changing. But the American dollar, everything has been traded since 1972 when Nixon took the dollar off the gold standard, and they're called FRNs. All you guys refer to that as money, but that's a Federal Reserve note. So everything runs on banks, the ability to create commerce around the planet, just like the tariffs that have just come in place, and everything that's going. The system is changing because the dollar was the dominant currency around the world. That's why Saudi Arabia, has anybody in here heard about BRICS?
Yes.
Okay. So since you know about BRICS and what's happening with the change, the United States has weaponized money around this planet for hundreds of years. So when Russia,
South Africa and China.
So the BRICS is Brazil, Russia, India, South Africa, China. And the thing about it is the acronym was created because of the way that money moves around the planet. The thing that's happening right now is nobody trusts the U.S. to do business with. If nobody knows about what the Bretton Woods Agreement is, or if you've heard about them talking about it on the news right now and everything changing, and the reason President Trump is running to all these different countries is because they failed in the way that they are dominating the world currency. So BRICS created its own currency so they could start paying each other peer to peer. That's what Bitcoin is, guys. That's why Bitcoin was created.
And that's why
Bitcoin was created as a decentralized
$50 billion in the United States.
There you go. Because see, everything evolves around money. He's talking about politics, but all the politicians are only trying to capture the dollar. The money is the power on this planet.
Bring it back around.
Did you guys notice that?
And that's what I'm saying. What we have to do is, in our community, is understanding what's happening both in laws and in the financial system. It doesn't.
You don't know what's going on.
Sitting there as an elected official. I'm sorry. You said what, Bubba?
You're saying all this, but you don't know who's going on in your community. Y'all got triggered because I asked you
No. I'm not
who's running
what
your
I'm trying to explain to you is just because I didn't know the direct people that are in charge.
Could y'all let Maceo up? He's in a recording.